I'm Anthony, and I'm here with John Bulick, and we're both agents with the Summit team here at UFirst Realty. John has been advising homeowners for many years on repairing their homes, and also using his extensive knowledge of building and remodeling from my experience in the field and even real estate industry news feeds. We're seeing that the playbook for selling a home needs a makeover, and really so do a lot of the homes that are out there. Selling a home just takes a lot more effort than what it did as recently as April, and homeowners used to expect like a bidding war. It's shaken up quite a bit. There's just a lot more that needs to happen. So since then, since the real estate market has shifted, inventory's up, buyers are harder to come by, and actually a lot of them I'm finding are more easy to scare off. These homes are tired and they're needing repairs, and it's making them less desirable. From the many repairs that need to happen and improvements, to the things that catch the buyer's attention in a negative way will make a huge difference on getting your asking price or giving a discount. And John, I'd like to actually tap into your knowledge here a little bit. What are the most important things a seller should focus on to get the most value in their home?
Anthony, that's a great question. I saw the same stats that you did about sellers recently spending an average of over $14,000 on improving their houses before listing. The question is, what projects pay off and which ones don't?
It's a very big question.
When working with sellers, I guide them on maximizing the home's potential to get the best price in the least amount of time. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes not so much.
Yeah, definitely. Since we're kind of brushing on this, why is that?
I know that you've seen homes that, like I have, in our biz, and you can be nearly perfect to, oh my God, a bulldozer is the best fix.
That's a really good way of explaining some of these homes.
Yeah. Fortunately, few homes are that bad, and the average homes these days they no longer look new because we're living in them. But getting back to your question, I feel that there's no simple list of things for sellers to do. Instead, I work from the perspective of the impression the house will leave on a potential buyer as they walk through it.
Okay.
When I'm evaluating a house for a seller, I look for all the things that's going to catch the buyer's senses, either consciously or subconsciously. Things that they feel and they can't quite put a word to it or describe it, but it gives them a feel that's something's not right here. So I try to determine to what degree any defects could be an issue for a buyer.
What are some of the common issues that do come up while you're going through these homes with the seller?
I start with the basics, and I make a list. So I'm taking, walking through the house, taking the same steps like a potential buyer would. So like, hey, you drive up, what's the curb appeal like? What's the landscaping in the front yard? What's the condition of the exterior of the home? Just that first visual. Some people won't get out of the car if it's, that bad.
I have experienced this, and yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm looking at anything that's going to stand out to me. People have given me crap about it. I have a critical eye, and I see all the little things, that OCD thing I get accused of. But if everything's okay, but the door color doesn't invite you in, okay, that's an easy fix.
Yeah, okay.
Just, okay, let's pick a color. Once you get through that door, and, so what's the first impression I get when I walk in? And then I walk through the house, and I'm taking in what I call the most important rooms, and also considering special features.
Some of the important rooms, maybe like the kitchen and the bathrooms. I guess, what are some of the other important things that you're thinking about as you're taking this tour and you're past the front door?
I am looking at these important rooms because there's a certain order of what's typically important to a buyer. And so very often, you're going to see the living room first.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it's rare that you're walking in the front door to a kitchen. So you're going to break down that room. Okay, well, what is the house of floor covering, the paint, the window coverings, light fixtures? They should all look good. Let's just keep it as simple as that for right now. The kitchen, okay, is it dated? Are there defects? How's the floor, the appliances, even the kitchen faucet, and is the sink all worn and all that? But I've found that very often the cabinets, they can be okay. A simple fix, I'll throw this out. It's like, okay, a lot of homes have these oak cabinets and the finish is just not perfect.
Yep.
You don't have to replace them. You basically take some of this dark oil, rub it on them, and they almost look new.
Great idea.
The trouble is most of the time you got that and the countertops need help. Well, the oil ain't gonna fix that.
Nope.
So I've seen this in lots of homes where spend a little money on countertops. It's a common And for me, it's looking at this, you can find great contractors. Boy, there's a 1,000 granite companies in the Denver metro area, and they can take a dull kitchen, and it's going to give a great return when selling, having like the cabinets looking good, the countertop all new.
Sure.
And when you do that, you're going to replace the sink and faucet. That's just kind of a given.
It's coming. Yep.
But then we move to the baths, because that's another important area. Of course, master bath being the most important. Ones by the bedrooms, the one in the basement is the least important. Mm-hmm. If they look worn or dated, a few small improvements can have a huge impact, even just a grout and caulk being right. One other important room, especially in some homes, the master bedroom. Does it feel inviting? And it's the same deal with the other rooms. Are the floor coverings paint in good color? Mm-hmm. Is it a good color? And so
that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that can make a huge impact. Are there any other areas that might come up? Do you care about the garage? Yeah. Is there anything out there?
Yeah, I mentioned there could be some special areas too. So, like say the home office. Some people that's a big deal.
It's huge. Yeah.
For me, it is. I have a home office.
Yeah.
and it's more of a thing these days. But say the rear patio, deck, things that make the house stand out a little bit or inviting to people, like the media room and so on. They should all have a good feeling when being viewed.
Got it. And what about the rest of the house? There's, I guess just a few other areas that, like a basement or some other parts to that house.
Yeah, besides not having damage, I think what's important about every room in the house, that they're clean, uncluttered. And here's something people often forget. The windows should be clean. It's like if you have something to see out the window, make it so that they can see it. Some people actually go through a little trouble. They fuss over the closets. Don't waste your time there. But, the garage, you don't have to fix it up or do anything. But you know what? Have the floor clean. Have it, really clean. Yep. Don't have grease all over. And if you have an unfinished basement, same thing. Have the floor clean there too.
Oftentimes what I see when I'm touring homes with buyers is that they often use the garage or even the closets as a place to put their things that are leaving the property. So not something I would totally focus on or worry about.
Exactly. Yeah, that's real common. And it helps the rest of the house look great.
Definitely. So what about the cost of fixing some of these things? Can't the cost be more than what the return is worth?
Yeah, there's that potential. I feel that there can be a fine line between what is enough and what's too much. Mm-hmm. A total kitchen remodel will rarely raise the sales price by as much as it costs. In fact, stats show that kitchens generally give a 67% return from what you spend. And is it worth it? That depends. And so
it's a very complex question.
Yeah, but the thing is, the stats, they don't factor in the remodels done on kitchens that were in good shape, but were a little dated. So these numbers, don't trust them. These are national numbers. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of people go, oh, okay, well that was new 5 years ago. Now we need to update. Okay, you're not going to get much return on that. But I do feel that breaking down the ROI, return on investment, on each improvement based on national stats, well, to me that's backwards. So it really matters what your house is like compared to the competition.
That's important.
Yeah. So what have the neighbors done? And basically, what are the other listings like? That's competition. So when people see your house and then see others, okay, how does yours stack up? Really, the features and condition of your house, comparing it to the others, is what determines, how much it's going to sell for and how long it's going to take to sell it.
So is your house selling their house or is their house selling yours?
Yeah.
Got it.
It could go either way. So let's say you have a home that's never been updated and it's behind in maintenance. Mm-hmm. I see that. Not everybody does. You now have what could be a large expense making it look good to sell. Mm-hmm. And you compare that to a neighbor that, they've been doing their maintaining and updating regularly over the years. Mm-hmm. It's just like they don't have any projects. Like, oh yeah, they redid the kitchen a couple of years ago. They painted it and just the carpet, flooring. There's some people that just like to keep the homes up to date and all that. When you haven't done that, the cost of competing with that, it's going to seem like too much.
It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big separation.
And But the thing is, it really boils down to what's the realistic price your home will sell for, and how long it'll take if you don't improve it. The situation of each property and seller is unique. And this is the analysis, is what I help my sellers with. My goal is to come up with solutions for improvements that make them more money than they cost.
That's really what it comes down to. So should the sellers have the home inspected before they get ready to market the home?
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you asked that. Knowing what a buyer's inspector is going to find, because it's going to be, could even be the same inspector. They could end up hiring the same guy or gal, I should say. It'll show you what's going to be shown to the buyer, what they're going to see. And it'll give the seller a chance to, fix anything major.
Yeah.
That can be, that can potentially turn off a buyer and possibly have them move on. Taking care of these problems ahead of time, they're going to give buyers an impression of a well cared for home. Mm-hmm. Well, for example, almost every inspector says the furnace. You know what they say?
Repair or replace. It's some
clean
generic,
service certified.
Yeah, some generic statement that
get it done. Yeah, and you can even show, just like when you can have receipts there for things you've done on keeping the house up. When they come to view the house, you can have even a little booklet saying, "Hey, I've taken care of all this stuff."
That's good.
And you're not going to have these problems when you have an inspection.
Having service dates on the HVAC system.
You can even have, if some people, it could backfire on you if you have an inspection done and they find lots of problems. I may not want to share that.
Yeah.
But if you fix all of them,
yep,
then you're confident that when they have an inspection done, they're not going to find much.
It's true. It's very true. So if I could just recap a little bit of what you said, really the vital thing is to focus on just the buyer having a positive viewing experience while they're going through the home. This will help the seller get the home sold in the soonest time possible with the highest value. And I would also like to reiterate that home staying on the market for longer is going to cost them more on the final sale.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, definitely. So.
Yeah.
All
Hey,
right.
Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thanks for listening.